If you know these 15 math answers, then your math is excellent. And what that means is that you are among the 80% of the math professionals we have in this world. Okay, so here's how it's going to be. There are 15 questions cutting across arithmetic operations, basic algebra, and basic trigonometry. So each question has 3 options, and you are to identify the correct option in less than 5 seconds or 5 seconds, okay, and with no calculator at all. But feel free to use a piece of paper and a pencil to do your rough calculations and solving, okay? All right, so without any further ado, let's get into it. We are going to be starting the first section with arithmetic operations, and we have 5 questions on this section. So let's get to the first question. What is the order of operation? Okay, so we have option A, option B, and option C. So the correct option is B. All right, so why is it B? According to paid mass, if you're in the US, or board mass, if you are in countries like Nigeria and the rest. So this means parentheses or brackets, so exponent or order, but the rest are the same: division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So we are going to have division first, then multiplication second. The order is from left to right, So we have division, multiplication, and addition. So that makes option B the correct answer. So let's move to the next question. We have 40 divided by 50. Option A is 0.45, B is 4 divided by 5, and C is 5/4. So the correct answer is 4/5. So let's look at why it is so. When we are dividing, we need to factor out a common factor between the numerator and the denominator. So the common factor here is 4 times 10. 10 is the common factor. And we also have here 5 times 10. So we can see that 10 is the common factor here. So if this goes, we are left with 4/5. Okay, but here's a simple trick. Anytime a number ends with 0, if we have 0 on both numerator and denominator, and take note, it has to end with zeros, we can just cross off the zeros, and what we are left with is 4/5. Okay, so that is the correct answer, B. Okay, question 3. What is 4 divided by 2 into -2? So we have option A, 1, B, -1, and C is -4. Okay, so the correct answer is -4. Let's look at why it is -4. So the different operations we have here is division, we have multiplication, division and multiplication. So following our board mass or our paid mass, the order is from left to right. So we are going to have 4 divided by 2, which is 2, okay, times now -2. So that's going to give us -4. So that makes C the correct answer. Let's move to the next question. What is the square root of 16? So option A is 4, option B is 8, option C is 16. Okay, so the correct answer is option A, which is 4. Now let's take a look at square root. What is square root? Square root means a number that multiplies itself to give us, in this case, 16. So what number multiplies itself to give us 16? So we have 4 times 4 multiplies to give us 16. So that means that the square root of 16 is 4. Okay, we move to the last question in this section, which is question number 5. So we have 7 divided by 12 plus 1/6. The option here is 8 over 6, 8 over 12, and 9 over 12. Okay, so 5 seconds is up. We have that the correct answer is C. Okay, let's look at why it is C. So I tell my student the best way to go about this is there's a concept called like fractions. Like fractions. So we have like an equivalent fraction. So equivalent fraction will be you having a multiple of this fraction. That means multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by a common factor. And like fraction is when two fractions have the same denominator. So we are going to use those two concepts to solve this question easily. So first of all, the LCM, or the highest denominator here, is 12. So I'm going to multiply 2 to 6 to have 12. That means I'm also going to multiply 2 to the numerator here so that I'll have 2. So when I do that, I'll have 2 over 12. So now we can see that the denominators are the same, and that's what we call like fractions. And whenever the denominators are the same, it's very easy. Add the numerators together. So we are going to have 7 plus 2 to give us 9, and the denominator is 12. So that's going to be over 12. So that makes the answer to be C. What is your answer so far? How many answers have you gotten correctly? You can drop that on the comment section. Okay, so we are going to move to the next section, which is 5 questions on basic algebra. 5 questions on basic algebra. Okay, before I get to the question, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Imo Okang, and this is my channel, the Online Maths Tutor. In case you find my videos educative and interesting, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It keeps the channel going. Okay, thank you very much. All right, let's get back to the question. Question number 6. 3x minus 2 is equal to 7. So find the value of x. So we need to find the value of x. So the option here are a equals to 3 over 7, b equals to 3, and c equals to minus 27. Okay, so what's the first thing to do here? We are going to take the constant to one side of the equation, and we are going to keep the variable, which is the unknown, on the other side. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Okay, so when I do this, I'll have the right hand side to be 9. So to find x, that's going to be divide both sides by the coefficient of x. In this case, we have 3 here. So 3 is the coefficient of x. So x is going to be 9 divided by 3. So we are left with 3. So B is the correct answer. All right, next question. We have, what is 1 over 2 raised to the power of minus 3? Option A is 8, option B is minus 1 over 8, and option C is minus 8. Okay, so the correct answer is 8. Let's see why it is 8. According to indices, so whenever we have a negative power, in order to remove the negative power, we are going to take that number to the other side of the fraction. If it was on the numerator, we are going to take it down to the denominator. Now that it is on the denominator, we are going to take it up to the numerator. Okay, so when we do that, that's going to become 2 raised to the power of 3 without any negative sign. And what is 2 raised to the power of 3? That is 2 times 2 times 2. So the number has to multiply itself 3 times, and that's going to be 4 times 2 is 8. So that makes A the correct option. Next question is x squared is equal to 9. What is the value of x? The option A is plus or minus 3, B is 3, and C is minus 3. The correct option is A, which is plus or minus 3. Why it is so? In algebra, whenever we are taking the square root of variables like this, in abstract terms, the answer is going to be a positive and a negative number. So what number multiplies itself 2 times to give 9? That is 3. So that's going to be 3 times 3. So the square root of 9 is 3, but in this case we are going to have plus or minus 3. That's because rule of sign or sign convention says that minus times minus gives us a plus. Okay, so the correct answer is plus or minus 3. We go to question number 9, which is what is the square root of x raised to the power of 4, all in bracket, to the third power? Option A is x raised to the power of 5, B is x raised to the power of 6, C is x raised to the power of 7. Okay, the correct option here is x raised to the power of 6, and let's look at why it is option B. In order to remove square roots when we have a algebraic term like this, according to indices, we can rewrite square root as a power of half. So if we write this is going to be x raised to the power of 4 times 1 over 2. This 1 over 2 is what is the same thing as your square root. Okay, and just like your regular arithmetic operations, this 4 and this half is going to compute, as we are going to have 2 goes here 1 and 2 goes here 2. So now we are left with x raised to the power of 2 times x power 3. So the powers will always operate. In this case, we are going to multiply the 2 powers together. So 2 times 3 gives us x raised to the power of 6. All right, that is why B is the correct option. The last question for this section is question number 10. 3 over 4 is equals to 21 all over x plus 1. The options are A 7, B 27, C 28. What is the correct option? 2 seconds and up. All right, so the correct answer is B 27. So let's look at why it is 27. The concept used here is proportion. So when we equate 2 ratios together, it is called proportion. So what that means is that the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So what factor do you multiply to 3 to give you 21? That's the best way to understand it. Whatsoever that factor is, it's going to be the same factor that you are going to multiply to the denominator here to give you the denominator here. So if I multiply 7, I'm going to have 21. 7 times 3 or 3 times 7 is 21. So likewise, the denominator, we are going to have 4 times 7 here. This is equal to 28. Okay, so just like our basic algebraic simplification, so we are going to subtract both sides by 1 equals to minus 1. Okay, so that x is equal to 28 minus 1 is 27, and that is the correct answer. How are you doing so far? What's the correct answers that you have so far? Feel free to drop it on the comment section. So let's move to the third section, which is basic trigonometry. Please remember, no calculator, so just your piece of paper and your pencil. if you need it, but no calculator. Okay, so the first question on this section is, what is the angle on this straight line? Option A is 0, option B is 180, and option C is 360. Okay, so the correct answer is option B. B is the correct answer. Let's look at why it is so. As a rule, trigonometry rule, one of them says that angle sustained on a straight line is 180 degrees. Question 12. What is the area of this circle? The options are A, 4 pi, B, 8 pi square, and C is 16 pi. Alright, so the correct answer is 16 pi, option C. So that's because the area of a circle is pi radius square, and we have this to be pi times 4 square. What is 4 square? 4 times 4, which will give us 16 pi. Okay, next question. Find the value of x in this right angle triangle. Option A is 5, option B is 7, option C is 12. Alright, the correct answer is A, 5. So let's look at it. The concept to use here is Pythagoras triangle. Okay, Pythagoras theorem. It says the sum of the squares of the two adjacent sides gives you the longest side, which is the square of the longest side, which is the hypotenuse. Okay, so that's going to be that x squared is going to be equals the sum of the squares of the adjacent side, which is 3 squared plus 4 squared. So this is 3 squared 9 plus 4 squared 16. This adds up to give us 25. So remember, this is x squared. So how do we find x? We take the square root of 25. So x is going to be the square root of 25, in this case 5. So that is why the answer is 5. Okay, the next question, which is the second to the last question. What is the value of x in this triangle? What is the value of x in this triangle? Option A, 50, option B, 45, option C is 60. So neither of the options are correct. Actually, I purposely did this to see who are truly the math geniuses. So let's look at why. So we have that the sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Never forget that. So when we sum up this angle, x plus 40 plus 100 equals 180. They should always equal 180. So let's simplify this. 40 plus 100 gives us 140 equals to 180. So to find the value of x, we subtract 140 from both sides. Okay, so 180 minus 140 equals 40 degrees. So the correct answer to this question is 40 degrees. If you had that correctly, a very big thumbs up to you. Kudos. All right, to the last question. Reflect this object across the x-axis. What do you get? Option A is this triangle facing upwards. Option B is the triangle right rotated. Option C is the triangle facing downwards. Okay, The correct answer is C. Alright, so here is why. If we reflect this basically means that you should mirror these objects on or across the x-axis. So just replicate this. Just imagine you putting your mirror across this. So this is going to give you a reflection, more like casting a shadow on this object. So this is how it's going to be. Okay, so the correct answer to this question is option C, and that completes our question for this video. Let me know how many answers you got correctly. Please feel free to drop your answers on the comments section. In case you find this video very educating, or if you like this video, please give it a like or a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with friends. But also check out my other videos on my channel, and see you in my next video.